I think it's actually more than 70 years of history. 70 years of the Silver Band, but the band goes way back till about 1884 when it was formed. Now it was formed during Queen Victoria's reign, but it wasn't actually a jubilee or anything. The jubilee would have been 1887, but it was formed in 1884. It was called Poyntzpass Victoria Flute Band. So I always said that there's 4 churches in each corner of the village, and it was either keep the devil in or keep the devil out, one of the two. So I think they're probably the music's kept in as well. Like, so there's probably been music in the past for more than 140 years. But hopefully I'll not bore you too much here this evening. Richard's going to chip in if I say something wrong, so he'll be chipping in all night. And there's quite a few photographs here now, so we'll just run through the photographs. And I'm not going to make you sing here, so I'm not going to start you singing. Instead of the electronic thing, it's going to point at the thing. Richard's going away, he's way ahead of me here already.
No, that's the start one.
So anyway, we'll be working with photographs and slides really all evening, and don't be afraid to chip in and ask questions about who people are, because I'll try and say we don't know everybody, because we just don't know everybody, but we know a few people, because a few people in these photographs here actually went from the flute band to the silver band, in 1951. So we're going to say, like I said, it was formed in 1884, and it was called Queen Victoria Flute. It was a melody flute band in those days, and that's an old uniform there now from about the 1880s. It was actually found in the Orange Hall down the street there when they were doing it up. But I don't know, Andrew says 30 or 40 years ago, but it might be more actually. But we think 30, 40 years ago, Andrew, maybe, don't you? Probably wouldn't, but I mean that's dating way back. So I said don't dry clean it, it'll fall apart.
So that is one of the 1884 band uniforms.
Uh-huh.
They were an old army uniform. Admin Lockett told me they were SR type uniforms that they had, and they were a wee pillbox cap with it.
I'll give him a microphone.
Oh, it's switched off.
Right. But anyway, like I say, Richard will chip in there and say a few things. And anyway, so there's no caps left over, but there were pillbox type hats.
I had the pillbox.
Oh, right, you had.
But they've sort of fallen apart.
Well, the uniform's better. But anyway, in about after the First World War, they changed the melody flute, or part flute, changed the part flute, and the part flute right through until they changed over till the silver in 1951. It would be remiss of me not to mention the other band in Poyntzpass. I see him coming in there. Where is he? Ah, there he's there, Frank. We had St. Patrick's Accordion Band, and it was actually a flute band as well, wasn't it, from 1933 to 1945. I think it was a part flute, melody flute band as well. And then it changed over, and that's a couple of photographs there of the old St. Patrick's flute band and accordion band, okay? And they changed over till, I think they changed over in about 1951 as well, maybe, didn't they, till accordion. Same time.
Changed accordion in 1951, that was the information.
And they went on to 1988, wasn't it, Frank, 1988?
Sorry?
88? The band stopped.
I think so, about then, yes.
But I always tell the story. I haven't told it too often. But on the 12th of July, if there's no Sunday, we don't go out till Monday. But I had to pass one 12th morning on Sunday, and I was reading the paper and heard this accordion band coming down the street, and I thought, my goodness, that must be Dunbanner, must be in an orange service somewhere. And then I seen them coming down. It was St. Patrick's, St. Patrick's accordion band. The only thing was wrong, no banner behind them. But I always remember that there, always stuck in my mind, from a 12th of July and during the 80s. But anyway, I'll not say too much more, because I don't want to steal Frank's thunder.
Francis Savage tells that story still.
Does he? I don't like me and Francis having the same jokes. Oh goodness, I think I'll go home already. But I don't want to steal Frank's thunder. Maybe this time next year we'll have a St. Patrick's accordion band night. But then there's a few St. Patrick's accordion ones left, isn't there? There's you and Frank, or you and Phil. And John, you're like an ex-accordion man as well. I remember, was it Siobhan Smith led the band? I remember Siobhan led the band years and years ago too, Right? Oh, there you are. Yes. Anybody else put their hands up for the band? No, they are. You as well. Sorry. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's plenty. Start on that one. Was Francis? I Francis in it too. Yeah. Yep.
I remember Harry
big pool bar and one put a drum off him from Point of Monitor, but he didn't want anybody to know about it.
Very good. Yes, so, yes, as I said, Joe Daly was an arm man, Felix's father. He was in the band as well. And Pat and Ever McSherry, isn't that right?
Yeah.
They were in the band too. So anyway, but we'll just go back to the past, what we're here for. The accordion silver band. So Richard, you put up any more? That's the two accordion band. Well, this is the old conservative flute band. That was after the war. They changed the name to Poyntzpass Conservative Flute Band. You want to say something?
Well, this was the part band. After the original band, these old black uniforms here were a melody band. This was a part band, the same as the St Patrick's Flute Band. They had the range of flutes, the whole range of flutes. They played part music. That photograph that I was taken in 1946, and actually the one on the left names everybody, but it's the same people actually formed up here, standing on the canal bank. Fred Moody was the drum major.
And then that's Jim's over there. That's Jim's father there.
That's George. The front row.
There, recognise him?
You've seen that before.
And then David Kearns playing the big drum.
David played the big drum, and he carried on through, played the big drum and the silver
band. And then that's him again playing the big drum. He was an ex-World War I man, David Kearns. And then there was Fred
Denny was the conductor. That's Fred down there, kneeling just on the left.
Fred Moody?
Fred Denny.
Fred Denny, right.
He was the conductor.
Right.
He conducted the flute band.
And is Fred Moody in that photograph?
Fred Moody's the drum major, that's him on the right.
Right, but he was another ex-World War I man as well, like, you know.
Was he an uncle of yours, Ken?
He is an uncle. And just a bit of bad news is the youngest of that generation passed away this weekend.
No.
Iris Moody.
Right.
92 years of age.
Right.
She would have been 93 next month.
Yeah.
And who was she? She was a sister of Fred's.
She would have been the sister of Fred.
Right, very good.
That's Andrew's father. Andrew's father. Yeah. And I'm sure you all remember Sidney Hall as well, don't you? Sidney Hall, he's dead and gone now, but he lived up the street there, far side there.
He's not in that band.
No, he said Sidney Hall there.
Was he? Maybe he was.
Yeah, it says it though.
Oh, then he was then. He was then. Yep. Sorry.
Right. So again, that takes us up to 1951, whenever they changed over to flutes. Andrew was saying there that whenever they changed over to silver. Andrew was saying that whenever they changed over till silver, that the instruments come in and train from Gora Wood, and they stayed at the garage and at Andrew's, at Charlie, your father's house until the rest go down the road the next morning. Maybe they played them down the road, did they? Along the canal bank.
They brought them down so they could learn how to play them. They hadn't learned how to play them.
You can't go straight from flute till silver without learning how to play it. I'm trying to play it 56 years. I haven't done it yet. I'm getting there. Another few members that were in the old flute band as well. There, people might know Tommy McComb that lived in Meaton Street there. Tommy, he was no flute band. Sidney Hall, I said before. Like Lewis Smart, he was one of the original members, wasn't he, Helena, of the Historical Society? Lewis Smart. Well, his brother Ernest was in the band as well now. Ernest Smart. And he was an uncle of ours, like Richard Main, and he went till Canada in '54, and he come back the past couple of times. But again, they're all gone now too. Tommy Morrow, John's father, was a member of that. He's in there as well, isn't he? We should go back, but make your way in. Getting too excited here.
You're never going to get up this
Huh?
stage.
Where's he going?
Just a touchy thing at all.
Huh? There you are now. So I was going to say, Tommy Morrow. See Tommy Morrow there anywhere?
Tommy Morrow.
This one here.
Yeah. Beside Bertie Clark and
Bertie Clark. Tommy Morrow.
Clark and Davy White.
Right. Right.
Oh, yeah.
And Joe Brad, of course.
Right. Aye.
All right up through. Like.
Do you have the original photographs with you?
No, they came out of the book, your book.
Oh, right, okay.
We had them at one stage, but I think there is still some of them. Some people still.
I have the original.
Andrew has them.
Also in that photograph there, talk about the First World War men now, and then in that 46 photograph, well, Johnny wasn't in that, but he was the next 61 photograph. Johnny Orange's father was in the band whenever I started. He led the band then, and he was a Second World War man, serving in the Royal Navy. And Harry Smith. Was Harry Smith from the... Harry Smith, is he in this band, is he?
No.
No, well, he was in the silver band. He was an ex World War II man as well. You know, so you go on to the 61, no? But that photograph there now was taken down in the Orange Hall in 1961. That's 10 years after the band changed to silver. there's quite a few in that band that were there whenever we joined it, like Davy Kearns, Johnny Huddleston there now, Jim Brian Manley's dad, and that's Adnan Laughlin there. That's Andrew's grandfather, is that right? Right, yeah. And Watson Dillon, that's Sidney Hall there, isn't it?
Sydney, yeah.
And that's Davy Kearns again, still going strong. And Billy Little, that's Harry Smith there, that's a mountain. Ballyshield, Davy Atkinson, and then that's George Laughlin there, that's my great uncle Joey actually, my mother's uncle. That's Fred's father, Angela and Gillian's grandfather. Played in the band for years and years too. Albert Shanks, that's an uncle of mine, John Fagan. You know, and then that's Charlie, that's your dad there, isn't it, Andre? Top.
That's Charlie Holiday.
Top here.
Yep.
That's beside. That's Jim. That's Jim now.
Not looking a day older, Jim.
Huh? It's only 50. It's only 52 years ago, Jim. You know. You haven't aged a bit. So Jim's in that photograph there, and then that's a cousin of mine there. That'll be John Fagan's son, Brian. He's still with us. And then is that Maxwell there? That's Maxwell Smith, Harry's son from lived in Killy7. He's still. I was talking the other day actually. I was telling him that we're having a night. And him and Brian both same age. They're 74 now. Like, you know, time and tide, as they say. As you can see there now, the first conductor of the band. He was from Banbridge, Mr. James Clugston.
That's not James Close now. That's.
See, I said something wrong again.
Hello. It's working, it is.
Just shout if it isn't.
That's Stanley Badole
Something
there,
like-
as far as I know. He was maybe the second or third conductor, or whatever. But the first one was man James Clugston from Banbridge, and then there's two brothers Badole. Is that right? Arnold was earlier. Stanley and Leslie. That's one of the Badoles there that conducted the band for a period.
There was some run coming from Banbridge to the past in the 1950s to taste the band. Maybe they come on the bikes. Sure, you know, got motorbikes or something like that there. But it was, you know, people didn't travel too far in those days. I remember my grandfather Smart saying, not saying to me, like, but he said, great day, and you went to Banbridge on a Monday, like, you know. No Sunday school. Great day out. You know. But any more say about that photograph there, do you know?
Well, that was the first uniform the band,
Oh,
the
aye.
Silver Band had. That was the black and it was a black uniform, the white shirts and black ties, and the gold bands and the tunics. They were.
None of them left, you know.
I have one, but
Took all the buttons off because the 40 there. Like.
buttons on it.
They were actually made by my Nana Laughlin
Is that right?
in Poyntzpass.
Oh, right.
She made all the uniform.
Right.
Yeah, no, I have one in the house, and I've one of each. They could all do with a bit of a spruce.
Huh?
If we're going to show them properly, we need to spruce them, boys. But that's bad. No harm to Andrew.
Not as old as that one there. Like. But anyway, I think we'll go on maybe to the next slide, photograph if you want. We're just moving on here now, really. About this is in 1972 when the first red uniforms we got. And that's 51 years ago, and it doesn't seem like 51 years. There's quite a few. The old one's still there yet. Like there's George Laughlin still there. And John Fagan.
George and Mrs.
And Billy.
Laughlin. That's Jim's mother. She presented the uniforms that night. George was the band master for years as well, right up till he retired. But that's Mrs. Laughlin there behind the drum.
Davy Kearns must have left the band by then. Like.
Davy left at about the time we got those uniforms.
10 uniforms, aye.
He was going up to the end, like, but.
Because there's like Albert Shanks still there, like, you know, the older men, John Fagan, Billy Little, and then George, and that's really all the old men, you know. And where does he mean they are now?
Davy Atkinson, you've got Davy there.
Davy, aye, Davy. And then you can see the young ones there, like there's Dee Allen, everybody know Dee. That's Dee. And there's Ken, that's a younger version of Ken, he had hair. He had hair. And there's Rodney. There's Rodney. And that's Clifford. Not with us anymore, Clifford. And then that's Nigel. That's Rodney Stewart here on the left-hand side now. You know Rodney all right. That's Morris Reid from Monclone. John Harvey, John Harvey. John Harvey. Richard.
That's me there.
That's Cecil Triton.
Cecil.
Cecil, aye. Cecil in the band for a few years. And that's Bill Reid. Bill's gone too. And that's Jim there, isn't it?
That's it, yes, sir.
Me, Keith Menace. Up in, you know, up in
Yeah,
Qatar, and
yeah.
they call the town land, but he's away a lifetime, like, you know. Duncan, well, Nicola's still about.
Yeah,
She lives
Nicola lives in the house
in the
up
home
there.
place.
Arnold,
There's
of course.
Arnold.
Arnold up
Younger looking Arnold.
still. He's so looking at her.
I would say Arnold's got a photograph in the lofts going old. He never ages a day, like. Dorian Gray. So that was the first red uniforms.
That was 1972.
72.
Yeah.
You know, so big changes from '72. Robbie Lutton there played the band. That's the Thelma's husband. He died. He just buried there at the end of last year.
Died there recently.
In Muller's last church. You know. So we'll go on the next one then, do you? Anybody any questions? Don't get a shout and ask questions. And don't mind that.
A few years after that again.
And that photograph there now, approximately 1970. I'm not really sure when it was taken, but I mean the older men are still there, like, you know, like Davy Kearns, and then us Arnold's father, Johnny. He led the band, and we all joined.
It was really taken to get those men were all our presidents and vice presidents at that time, and just one night in the past, I don't know what was that. We just decided we'd get a photograph done and get them all into it. And a few years after that, you know, we're all starting to disappear, like, but we're just lucky got it all done at that time. That was, you go through them there, sure, you know.
Like Davy, he died in 1979. I was away at the time. I wasn't here, but Davy nearly had like a state funeral.
Yeah, the state funeral. I'm sure maybe something remembered here in the past.
The band was, the big drum was covered with black, wasn't it?
It was a Sunday funeral, and
And he buried in the band uniform.
the band played up the street here in front of the funeral, right up the street, and he was buried in Scarborough, right around the corner and down to the garage. And
He's buried in the old uniform, the black uniform.
yeah, he kept the uniform. He always said he had a job for the old uniform. He held on to it.
But he probably had maybe like, I mean, 50 years service. Like,
Well,
maybe more.
Everybody knew him in the past. He all he did the sail yard gate, and he was a fit man, Davy. Like, he really was.
I got photographs there. Again, it was 1978 or 79.
Even after he retired, I remember after he retired, we had a couple of part-time or the big drummers sort of helped out or did it for a wee while. Davy would have walked beside the band and nearly give them every stroke on the drum. Like, he was honest to goodness, he was supposed to right up till the end almost. Like, he was a very, very dedicated bandsman.
I mean, that photograph as well there. It was the first time that probably had the girls taken in the band then.
Yeah, it was about that time I started taking.
You know, taking girls. But it was about 77, 78. Like, you know, Elizabeth used to give off. Like, she was Elizabeth
There's
Richards.
5 boys in our house, 1 girl. Elizabeth,
You know.
she was the only one who was never in the band. She always cast up that she wasn't allowed to join the band.
Still a great one. Yet 50 years later, like, you know. But that's we
Well,
followed
the girls there.
John Waddle, and that's Donna McMullen from Kelly Savin there. You know, Donald McMullen. And then that's Celine McLaren. That's Kathy Smart. That's Ernest, or
She's
Lewis's
cousin of ours.
daughter.
Yeah.
Lewis, and that's the son there, Trevor. But there was girls. There's probably girls in the band maybe before those three. Was there? Like,
Well,
I mean,
Faith
Thomas.
Faith Thomas joined
she
as
was
one
the
of our
band,
first
one of the
girls.
first girls. And
That's Alfie, that's Philip there as well on this side.
Philip's there. Philip on.
Alfred Allen and Philip. Philip was in the band for a while.
That's not Smart there as well. Kenny Smart.
Did you go through all the presidents there? You did.
I did. Well, that's, you know, again, John Fagan, very little. That's Edmund Loughlin, that's Andrew's grandfather. And then that's Uncle Joey Merhead, George Loughlin, Jim's father again. That's James Little. Well, James was never in the band.
James never was in the band, but he was always connected
He
with the
always
band.
connected to the band.
James
He lived up there past the, on the left-hand side there, past the pub there.
on the Market Hill Road.
You know. And then David and Johnny, and that's Davy Alex from Ballyshield, you know. But they'd all left the band by then, of course. Well, I shouldn't say, like, we joined the band Richard joined in 65. You know, I joined in 66. When you joined, Rodney was 70.
Arnold's our oldest member.
Arnold's.
Our longest serving member.
Not saying many years. 62! Well, like 62 years. It's a great achievement, indeed, it really is. It's a great achievement. And so, I mean, at that time, whenever we joined the band, 60, you know, in the mid-60s, there was nothing else to do. Like, you know, you went to the band because you got out, and you went to the band because
Out, you know, we lived up there at home. It was a bit isolated, and there really wasn't nothing to do. The TV and next to nothing on it. And
Did you have a TV? Did
Daddy
you?
came home at night and he sort of hugged the TV, and he didn't want us in the room anyway. You know, chase us out of the road, read his paper. Like, it really was. So it's just we walked. You know, people wouldn't do it. We walked about Preston and walked at home again.
You know,
You know, a couple of miles down the road, a couple of miles back up again.
But did got you out.
Nothing
and
else
it was
to do.
good. It was good. It was
Just
good.
better.
So I mean, we were all the band, like, right up till, you know, we had probably the 80s, 90s. Nigel, he left. You know, but then Clifford, he left as
It's on
well.
that one there, yeah.
Yeah, well, he is, right. Right, you want to go on again? So again, that's going back. That's now a few years after that. Again, that's the second red uniforms we got in 1984, and that was taken on the canal bank there, just on the left-hand side when you go around the canal. Probably the old house was still on the right-hand side. Maybe it wasn't, but anyway,
That's just round the corner.
just around the corner on the left-hand side.
Just at the lock,
Again,
before you get to the locks there. And Edmund Loughlin, actually, they were presented by Edmund. He was our president at that stage, and he presented. No, he's just unfortunately he's not in that photograph. But
Even there, like there's a nucleus of young members, and we still have statutory young members as well, like, you know, so you can't do it the youth, as Richard says.
well, there's a lot of young ones coming through there. Like, it's, you know, they have to keep recruiting, but the young ones are great. But you know, it's you turn them over, like they all go away to university and get married or whatever. And
Only one come back to Emily.
well, Alex was a very good member now. She really was. But two drum majors at that stage, you can see them both there. Derek.
Oh, and Derek Shanks and Leslie.
And Leslie. Leslie was.
Leslie was doing his apprenticeship then.
He was. But
right, we're going again.
Let's go a couple of years
Again,
after that
so really, it's photographs what we're talking about, really, like, you know. You said 1995 again. Like, I mean, if you look at the previous photograph, look at this photograph. There's quite a few different members in the band then than there was in 1984. Like, I think even my ones were in it then. Like, you know, there's our back.
We put all our wee ones at the back. I should have put them in the front. They're on the back row.
And that's Clifford's young girl there, so it is now and then.
There's a whole lot of whites. There's a whole lot of whites.
And there's our Ryan, the Christopher, you know, and that's Norman Smart's daughter, Laura. No one belonged to her, you know. So again, you know, there's quite a few changes in that photograph there from the '84 one, you know. But stalwarts are still there, like, right?
Well, it's gone on support the same again, really. Yeah, just that one was taken up at Acton, just down the back, sort of the lakes there. You can't really see it, but it's out over the wall there. But Freddie Mitchell's conducting the band then. That's Leslie. But still have some steady people there. Really, you know, stayed right through. There's Kenny again, and ourselves. Like, needless to say, but.
Still her, Kenny, how do you still her then?
Yeah, Edward pausing at that. That's Edward on the left there. Edward was our president. Edward only died there recently as well. He was
associated with the band maybe for 35 years. Like,
very dedicated band member.
He was a president for quite a few years.
President, but he just died there really just at the end of last year or this year. Get mixed up. Was that long?
This year, I think, wasn't it? So anyway, that's a photograph there. That was after the 1991. We didn't. Well,
we moved up to Acton. The band was practicing in the Orange Hall in Poyntzpass here, and then really there was one time they were renovating the Baptist church, the old Baptist church. They were putting a new floor or something into it, and they asked us could we sort of temporarily relocate, because they set up the Orange Hall really as put the pews in and set a pulpit up, and they were having their services in the Orange Hall, so they asked us to find sort of temporary accommodation, so we moved up to Acton at that stage.
35 years later, we're still there.
But that time there was no heating in Poyntzpass Hall. I know they made moves then after that for to get some sort of heating system into it. But
and the Acton Hall was just a new hall as well, like, you know, and all the old cons.
The band just never went back, so we've been to Acton really ever since that, you know, 35 years like, since we went to Acton.
That photograph there now, that was 50th anniversary in 2001, and we had a concert in theatre in Armagh.
Theatre in Armagh, but that was the service. We did an anniversary service
Acton Church,
Acton Parish Church.
And again, quite a few changes from that photograph there was taken too, like, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
Had you abandoned your blazers?
No, that was what actually hadn't got the blazers.
No,
we didn't get the blazers.
I think we did that service just in our white shirts and ties.
We didn't get the blazers until our concert jackets in 2002.
We got them in 2002, the year after that.
And the money we made from
we
the
had a concert to celebrate our 50th anniversary in the Marketplace Theatre in Armagh, and we sold it out, and then that helped to raise a bit of money towards the uniforms. We probably had the concert jackets, and we got the concert jackets then were made by Handleys and Leeds, which were really one of the top uniform manufacturers in the UK. And Roger Handley, he was the proprietor. He came over and measured. We made the tunics all for us, so they were all supplied from him. We still have them, like they're really good uniforms.
As good as the War 2002, like.
No, they're still
don't get much abuse.
Still in good condition.
Right.
Move on, you see them. No, that's in around the same time. That's a wee thing we did in UTV Studios in Belfast. Went down. I can't remember what it was for, but we were asked to go down. We played the UTV Studios. I remember.
I think that's Kenny Morton there.
Kenny is there. Kenny is there.
No, I'm only joking.
But we played with Poyntzpass Silver. It is the two bands really. There's maybe a number of them and a number of us, and Went down, we played in the Havelock House in Belfast, actually. On
Full
Norma
moved, full
Road.
moved.
Norma Road. What?
Rivera, not there anymore.
Who? Havelock House?
No. No,
But
they're the
I
dock.
remember who's this was in, what day we were there, what do you call her?
Pally.
Who? No, she was married to Mike Nesbitt there. She was
Linda Brand.
Brand was sitting in the audience listening to us.
Right.
But it was sort of Christmas.
Leave early, did she?
What?
She leave early.
But it was
Right, go on ahead.
just a different engagement for
Huh?
us. That's my daughter in the middle there standing up. She played in the band too, Selena.
Roll away now.
She left too.
I get that there. That was probably the first time I had the new
Yeah,
concert
that's the
uniform.
night we got them. That's the
Got
night we
them.
got the concert
That's
uniforms.
taken in the Legion
Yeah.
up the street there, like, you know. So that was
Anley's father, Jim Brown, he was.
he was vice president, wasn't
I think he was the vice president, maybe.
he?
Um,
Again, there's quite a few people there that aren't there anymore. I don't mean not here, but not in the band anymore, like, you know. And they do move on. Like sometimes you keep them for maybe 4, 5, 10 years, and then, like Richard says, they go to uni, or they get married. The girls get married, and then you know, get children. So then that,
you know, still to come back to Glen and all there. We've had Manly too, like they've stuck to the band too really well down the years, so we've been very lucky.
right,
Really.
go on ahead, Liz.
But that was in 70. That was in 2002. But it was just our concert. That was the concert. One of the concerts in the Legion we did. We just presented them that night. Roger Hanley brought them over, I think, that week, and then we just handed them out really just before the concert. We turned up on stage, and everybody, I think a lot of people didn't even know we were getting them. It was a bit of a surprise, but they really did look well. So there's still a year or two left in the net, hopefully.
Right. Anybody any questions, or everybody happy enough? No, go ahead. Again,
Well, these are photographs, just the band doing different things in our concert uniforms. These are the things we do. Really, the bandstand in Scarf is one of our sort of steady engagements. We played at the Scarf really before there ever was a bandstand, standing under the trees out of the rain, or playing in the coffee shop really before they put the bandstand up.
coffee shop.
Uh-huh.
Brings back memories. Really.
It's got now very popular, and really the band only gets one engagement a year there now. There's so many bands playing it, like. But at that time we might have played 2 or 3 times every year in Scarborough. That was way back. That's Desi Watson there, was conductor.
2007, it said, but might have been 2007, like what I
Sitting
mean.
around, it was hard to date some of these, but some of them had dates on the back of them and some of them hadn't. I think that was actually 2007. And then this other one was the concert in the Legion. We do a concert in the Legion every year, annual concert. So we always. It's a fundraiser as well, really, for the band, but it's always well supported. Like, so, we just had our concert there really a few weeks ago, but that's Desi there in the.
We do more contests and concert work now. We don't do sort of marching work anymore.
do
Like,
a
you know,
lot of concert.
don't do very much marching
contest
work now,
things,
like, you know.
church periods, church services and things. But you know, a lot of them people are still.
Huh?
A lot of the people in that photograph are still involved. A lot of the young ones have got big. See, Emily's there and Tim's there, and they all shoot up, like, you know. But it's good to see it.
Right.
You know. This is the year we won the contest. The first year we won the contest in Belfast at the 2006, the Grade 4. So that was the band. That was in the Ulster Hall. Now it's not on the stage in the Ulster Hall, but it was taken in the Ulster Hall.
The band started contesting about 1989 because you know, if you don't do something like that, there like contest work, then from probably from August right through to we would do choral services and stuff like that around Christmas time. But if you don't do that there, then there's nothing to do, and the bands, people would just drift away and they wouldn't come back, and they didn't come back at all. So we do the contest there, like, you know, and do contest, and then the piece comes out in July or August, and you've only got till October to learn it off. And you at the start you look at it and think, God, we never play that. And then, you know, 2 or 3 months later, you have it off pretty well, like, you know. So again, that's Grade 4. But Grade 5, we start off in Grade 5. It's a non-affiliated section where you just play a march and a hymn. Your own choice, like, you know. It's not really that exciting. They move up to Grade 4, and then a whole lot of bands would play, and then they would drift away from the contesting, like, because they can't get the men to do it, or they can't get the young fellas, girls and fellas to do it, like, you know. So Grade 4 sort of dwindled away as well there, like, you know, for quite a few years. We were sort of playing on our own. It was a bit demoralising because you weren't really achieving anything, because you were. You still said if you didn't play, probably wouldn't give it to you, but they give it anyway.
Well, it's the work. You never really knew whether you'd have competition. Well, the last couple of years, I suppose it was poor, but it was the work that you put in for the contest. Like, like the test, it was a test piece. We had to learn a piece, and it was the work that the band put in, actually getting getting the band up to the standard that we could play some of the pieces. That was where that was the benefit really.
It is. It's hard work, like, you know, but it is. When you play on stage, so is in Ulster Hall. Or
Moved up now, we're playing the grade 3, which is a step up again. But the band's doing really well actually, and we've played the grade 3 now this last 2 years, and really nice pieces. And I think, you know, the band is coming on really well. We have great young people now coming through in the band. It's very encouraging really at the way things are.
Go ahead. I'm rushing ahead of time. Not too bad.
This was a. We get asked to do these things. This was the Festival of Remembrance that they have at the Marketplace Theatre every year. Well, we've been asked to do it a couple of times. That was taken up in the Marketplace Theatre as well. But it's not a very clear photograph, unfortunately. But that was Dazzy Watson still conducting at that stage. But I'm sure you can.
Still a few people in.
Would recognise themselves.
Well, there's Finlay Reid now. Finlay's not the one anymore. Elaine's there. And
Some of them wee ones all get bigger. There's wee Andrew Slane there, he's a big fella married now.
hold that front row there nearly all the way, like. You know. You there, Amy? No? No?
Yeah,
And there's LT. Arnold, Richard and Rodney. Right, you want to move on then? Well, listen, the band presidents, like, you know, we didn't really start having presidents till
the first president.
from 1972 to 1979, and then we kept on going through right up till today, like, you know. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 presidents in the 50 odd years, like, you know. So George.
They were all long-serving, dedicated people that really were connected with the band over many years, and had played in the band, all of them really, and really, you know, it was a recognition as well of the service that they had given, and they all took, even after they retired, all took a great interest in the band, what we were doing.
You all know all those people, like, wouldn't you? Like, most people know people there, like, you know, maybe not Edward.
Character, and George too, like, you know, everybody. Edmund was stalwart, like Joe Merhead. Billy was the secretary of the band for a good number of years, you know. I'm secretary now. Billy might have been the secretary before me, but sounds bad, like, but Billy was very, very good too. Johnny was a great man in the band. John Fagan, you know, John's our uncle, but he was in the band a long time too. Edward, of course, Edward only died there recently, but he was in the band for, and you know, a lot of their families too. But a lot of people connected with them are all come up through the band as well. So it's good to see.
There's Joe Merhead now, Uncle Joey there, like, and then sure, like Gillian's three in the band, like, you know, that's go down 2 or 3 generations, you know, and then like George, Elaine, Rory, that was your grandfather, and then Rory's great grandfather. So you go back, 2 or 3, and then like Arnold. None of the Fagans there, and Stephen Pogg
the Fagans were in the band. They were in the band when they were younger. Uncle John's. I remember Dennis playing the band. Both in the band. I remember I started first. Dennis coming home on leave. Dennis was in the Air Force. I mean, went home and handed the card, like, just till there you go. But he was a good player, like, he really was. Roy was now one of the Fagans. Roy played in the band. I remember playing in the band in the Navy. Dennis is still living over in Scotland. He was playing in the band over in Scotland, you know, up until recently. Maybe still is. Still had that interest.
How you want to go on?
That's these were our conductors. We had photographs of some of them, but that man James Clugston, he was the first conductor. I mentioned him earlier, but I didn't have a conductor or a photograph for him. And then Brian Dorn conducted at one stage, and Leslie Madole conducted. You mentioned this, sure.
He's from Palm Bridge, was he, Leslie Madole?
He was. Leslie and Stanley Madole were brothers. They were sort of connected with the Milltown band. What they were? Milltown men. Milltown had a silver band and outside Palm Bridge. They're just Lanadurg. It was going for a number of years, and they sort of came over and conducted here. But Milltown band, they sort of went like the Cian Tully-Leash concert band, and they've certainly completely folded now. The band doesn't exist anymore, but they were very similar to us. They wore the same black uniforms, and they would have played with us a wee bit. Although our band was very closely, maybe more so connected with Kate's Bridge band outside Refrain. Sammy Cochran.
Sammy Cochran, he conducted the band for a lifetime, like, you know. He never drove. Somebody had to go up and lift him every night and take him home again.
Up to Refrain, lift him and then take him home again. Never learned to drive. But he came down, he taught all us.
A big contract, like, big contract.
We joined the band in the 60s. Sammy was teaching young ones and trying to.
And there's Freddie, who's that over his shoulder? That's a young looking Elaine. Huh?
Stanley used to battle. Sammy Cochran, remember Sammy was there? I'm sure Arnold would say the same. Sammy was working hard with the band, teaching young ones, and the older members used to, they all thought they had to learn, they come into band practice really late. Like Sammy
We went to see your mother first.
But he did. Sammy did a lot of work. But Sammy's just died there a couple of years ago as well. Like he was a connector at Kitts Bridge, and Kitts Bridge and us would have done a lot together, sort of helped each other out there. Kitts Bridge band went down a good number of years ago. Sammy played on with a friend, and up till Sammy is.
And Daddy played in the band played in the band as well, but he conducted the band for maybe 15 or 16 years. And then Bobby took over, and Bobby, time of COVID, Bobby was one of the first men that died of COVID, like, he died.
Bobby died at the very start of the
Very start of maybe that first week. COVID was on, Bobby died, and then the Finches, we Finches, their grandfather died the day after, like, so COVID hit the band as well, like, pretty bad, like,
Yeah.
And Bobby was good conductor, like, and then.
He was. Bobby wrote the band on to give.
That's our current one there now, Stanley.
Stanley stepped in after Bobby died. Just really, we were sort of working online and doing a lot of stuff just online, solos, and we did a couple of we did actually a full contest online. And our the young Eupholium player we have, James Shaw. James won the best soloist contest. It's the run to the Corrie band, who are one of the top bands in England. They run that particular competition. And young James, who is a really brilliant player, James is actually playing now with the First Old Boys, though he's still playing with us. But Stanley was sort of keeping the wheels turning at that stage, and we were advertising for conductors, and we had got a bit of a response. Like, we had a few people were interested. Then Stanley sort of thought, maybe he'll have a go at it himself. So he stepped in, and he's still our current conductor and doing a great job. Like, really has brought the band on. So we've been very lucky, really.
Right, go ahead there.
This, aye.
That's just about the youth band. We have a youth band as well now as the main senior band. We can't call it senior band. But anyway, the youth band started in 2015 and very active since it started, really, like, And they do summer schools. Do summer schools in Armagh. You do summer schools in Lisnaskea, like Fermanagh and Tyrone there. Summer schools, and then that's the 5 mile town concert a contest we did there earlier on, like, Just a group of the young ones, maybe a couple of missing out of that one there, like. But the youth band, they come to the hall at 6:30 on a Thursday night, and play from 7:15 right through to 7:30. The seniors come in, and then they stay on, So some of them go home, some of them have other things to do, like. But I mean, the youth band fairly helps.
Well, it's been a great feeder into the main band. It's really we have got some a lot of really good young ones here. That photograph they're taking in the bottom left hand corner was this year at 5 Mile Town, and that wasn't all our young people. And like the youth band, and the youth band would play. They played the concert. At our concert on their own, they can play. They really have. They've got really a full range. Well, maybe a couple of people, the bigger instruments would help them out a wee bit, but they can put on a program themselves.
And if you got the photograph, the next one photograph there, maybe the next one, but the young ones that go to European. They have they would do there's the solo contests and things there. That was the wee Finches there all won prizes that a couple of years ago. And at the Armagh Summer School, there's 9, I think, last summer went up to the Armagh Summer School. There's some of the top players out of the Poyntzpass band in England comes over every year and run classes, and then they put on concerts at the end of the week. So we've tried to support that and get and help young people to go to that every year. Those first 2 photographs were those combined youth bands that ran it for a couple of years. The Wellington band down across Gyar, Tamworth Moor band at Cookstown, ourselves. Was there another one? Dungannon. They all came together that year. They were in Poyntzpass, and there was Owen Farr. He's one of the top tenor horn players probably in the world. He came over and played and took them, and we did a concert up in the church, and he played. It was amazing what he could do. But the young ones all played and accompanied them, like, and put on a great show themselves. So we're still trying to do a lot of work with the youth, and it's certainly paying dividends for us and has done over the years. Aye. Those two, that's Wilbur McKee's daughter there, Gemma. That's Ryan Park. He was Daddy's nephew. He played the band for a few years as well. But they both went on to. Gemma did a music degree at Manchester University, and her and Ryan were picked to play in the European Youth Band
The
What about
European, the European,
Youth.
the European youth, the European championships, brass band championships are held every year in a different venue. This year they've been held in Malmo in Sweden. One year they were held actually in Belfast in 2006, but really it's all over Europe. There's bands, there's all the brass bands associations all feed into it. But every year they run in conjunction with the European championships. They run a youth band, and they're always they sort of give kids, young people between 18 and 21, an opportunity to play in the European Youth Band. So that year we were lucky just that we were able to get we got 2 spots, and Gemma and Ryan both went. I think they went to Linz in Austria. And like they have a good week. It's all expenses paid, and they get free accommodation. But it's a busy week for them. This year the European Youth Band's in Malmo in Sweden. It's end of May, it's end of April, end of May, beginning of June, which is, it's always difficult because kids are all, especially at that age, are doing A levels or at university, and we have it's, and you have to be at least a grade 5 with your music before they'll consider your application. But it's something that we'd encourage our young ones all to take part in as well, and but they had a great week. They had a great week with it, and it's a good experience for them. So it's good to see a couple of Poyntzpass players actually make the grade for being able to do that. Move on. Aye, this is our Owens again. Do you want to say about them?
Well, again, like, I mean, that's the ones that they're all good, real good players. Championship players, like, there's Ryan again, that's his brother Jamie there. That young fella there in the middle there, James Shaw, like Richard said, he played he won the European,
Corey, he won the Corey best
soloist online. It was online contest. He won best soloist.
And he's out,
He played that first Old Boys. You see, Metal Technology Band. They're a grade 1 band in Belfast. Like, they don't do any playing work. They just do contest work all the time. Like, So they really, a whole lot of those top bands there. Like, we've got, Downshire Brass and First Old Boys. And they wouldn't poach them, but they'd ask, if you've seen a good player playing at a contest, they would nearly say to you, like, will you come to us, like, we'll give you a £3 million fee.
Well, they all moved on.
Like that girl there, like Gemma, or
Two Parks went to Downshire, which
that's John Denny's young girl there. She did a music degree in Manchester. She plays in not the Pemberton band there now. They're
Pemberton Old Wigan. They're a championship band in England.
That's the second grade, isn't it?
Yeah, no, they're in the top grade. Championship. They're in the top section, one of the top bands in England. Well, Rebecca went to music college, Royal College of Music in Salford in Manchester. She's a really good cornet player, and she's got married there recently. She married a percussionist that played in the Foldens band, who are the championship, one of the top.
The world champions quite a few times.
Probably one of the, if not the top band, very close to the top band in the world. Gemma again. Gemma was playing with Laganvale at one stage. I'm not sure why she's playing anywhere at the minute. I was trying to get her back to the past.
Getting demoted.
But you never know. And that's Stephen Poston. That's Edward mentioned earlier. Edward's son. Edward played in our band for a number of years. Then he went up to Queen's. He played.
Stephen, did you mean?
He played in the First Old Boys, but he's been away from the band now for a number of years too. I'm not sure he's playing now at all or not. And that's the young ones again at the bottom there. Just the solos. That we haven't done it this couple of years. COVID sort of had a whole lot of things in the head. A lot of these wee solo competitions and things. The Brass Band League, they run a solo contest every year. That year they had Owen Farr. That's the same way I was talking about earlier. The top tenor horn player. He was over adjudicating. But that's the young Finches there. That's Jonathan and Anna, and that's James in the middle. They all got prizes. Maybe won their sections that year at the solo contest. And that's a couple of years ago, just before the COVID kicked in. So that we're still trying to encourage all them things to happen as well. So it all pays dividends in the end, hopefully.
We're getting near the end, folks. Getting near the end.
We run our own wee solo contest every year. We had 2 trophies put up. Edward put up a trophy. That's Edward Posnet. That's only a couple of years ago. Maybe last year.
Last year, 22.
Edward put up a trophy for the best senior soloist, and Bobby, when he was conducting, Bobby put up a trophy for the best junior soloist. So we run a wee contest just up in the Legion every year among ourselves, and Stanley adjudicates at it. So that was our 2 winners.
Still winning yet.
As our winners last year. And Edward was going well at that stage, and Edward died very suddenly, really, to be honest with you. He was out at the Stephen Banbridge Hospital, and he was coming home, and then the next thing I heard, he had fell, and I don't know what all wasn't wrong with him, and he died in no time. Like, it was just a real shock. Like, but that was the last summer. Like, and he was in good form then. That's Jonathan Finch, won the best junior. You know, he's junior, get big fella John. He's all shut up like the young ones.
Go on the next one there, maybe.
What?
Go on the next one.
That's Arnold as well, they're our senior soloist. Well, the band, every year we'll do an election of officers and appoint a new committee and award all our prizes for all the young ones. Rodney keeps a record of attendance and all the different things that they do. And the juniors and the seniors, and that's our new committee there at the bottom, or one of the committees over the years, just about photographs for them. Unfortunately, we don't get photographs. We should take photographs every year, but we don't. But maybe that one there. Maybe they were last year, the top two.
Top two maybe, with the bottom wasn't.
But we just in accordance with our constitution, we have an annual general meeting every year, and we declare all our offices vacant, and then we appoint a new committee, new officers. So that was the last year. Somebody, I think we had a photographer from the Chronicle or somebody usually calls and takes a photograph. We do our reports and whatever we have. So that's part of the way that we run the band every year.
We've had two receptions in Armagh Council. Jim Spears, he married Elizabeth Dillon from Tanny O'Keeler, and he gave us a reception one year. And
it was after the contest. I think maybe it was the years we won the contests.
And Gareth Wilson there, I took Gareth the driving lessons. That's what he gave us one.
When in the Irish, that contest is actually the Irish Championship. It's the Championship of Ireland. It's run in Armagh in the marketplace, but it is recognised as the Championship of Ireland. It's open to bands from all over. There's bands from the south comes up and plays, and
that was all the old timers. You were the youngest old timer, weren't you, Mark?
That was the 40 and 50 year medal ones.
50-year medal.
But that was Gareth Wilson. I think he was the mayor. Those were both at the Palace to be in Armagh. Although I think the headquarters now maybe is the Civic Centre in Craigavon. Those were before they moved to Craigavon. But that was Gareth Wilson there, and this Jim Spears, and Elizabeth here. But, but we were well treated up there. Like, aye.
We do charity. Every year we have a nominated charity. Like, you know, this year it's Love, Hope and Faith. That's what we're having the coffee morning now on Saturday morning here. It's like Rebecca in the middle there between Aaron and Richard. Her young daughter, she's got spina bifida. So she's in hospital quite a bit. She's in hospital lately there, wasn't she? Elaine, she's only out of hospital. So she's it's in the area all the time. So the wee girl's gone through operations. But she's great spirit, hasn't she? And she's a great big girl, like, you know. So we're down in the guides or petrol station over before Christmas, and the community was really good to us. Like, they raised over £800. That day we played for an hour and a half, you know, cars and stuff like that there. So then, like I said, all the charities were supported. You know, is autism, and they've done the air ambulance in 2018. Then Ronnie's big birthday there, like, you know, it was nothing to do with the band, like, but Ronnie raised a couple of shillings, didn't you, Ronnie? Yeah.
But the band always picks a charity every year. We try to support a different charity. Like, we'll have to. I just couldn't remember them all there when I was doing that slide. But those are photographs that I was able to find. But we've tried to support a different charity every year, and we have raised. There's £2,000 in that one there for the Southern. And we did another one. I think I couldn't find the photograph, but it was presented it down in the trainer's garage one year. We raised money down there for them. That was their ambulance a few years ago. There was, I think, maybe 2,500 on that one. And then the Love, Hope and Faith, that was the money we raised for Rebecca at Christmas time. But we hope to get hopefully we'll have a good day on Saturday now. We can give that charity's supporting her and her family now, just with wee Caris.
Hey, go ahead now.
So we'll try, and that's our charity work. This is our...
That's all the old men there now, you know, and women. Oops. So if you add all those years together, you have quite a few years, but then when you say 40, like, you know, I mean, like Manly, maybe 42 now, Manly, wouldn't you have? Maybe 42. And then like Rodney with 52, maybe. I have 56 now, Richard, near the 60 mark, aren't you?
I was 65.
And then Kenny will be in around 52 or 3. And Arnold, not say Arnold. Arnold 62, I'm Arnold 62, you know, so I mean, if you add all those together, quite a few years service was given to the band, like, you know.
And there's a lot of people there, maybe the band should look at it too, you know. 40 years is maybe a long time to wait for a recognition of your service. We should maybe look at doing something for a lot of other people that have long service as well, really, to be honest. But
We're
those
coming near the end, aren't we, like, you know, so
right.
I think we've done, that's not, there's 5 to 9, like, you know.
Well,
So
these,
again,
are, these are things we do just locally.
I saw Austin Helene when Culture Night started, she said 2012. So we were there at the first Culture Night, right through to the last one, which was 2019 before COVID kicked in, and it was a really popular Culture Night. Like, I mean, it was getting dark. Like, it was always September, the third weekend in September. Like, and it was getting dark.
Well,
to
they
sort of play.
even
We
stopped
did put lights up, and it wasn't too bad. We played for half an hour, and people, there was stacks of people there, like all around the square, and great coffee for somewhere, like, know where it come from. But it was great. It was great chat and good crack. And then they had all things on in the pub, didn't they? Like, you know,
Hopefully it'll come back again.
you know, and then the stories, Frank was
Big
telling
community
stories. You told stories,
night.
didn't you, Frank, as well? Like, you know, so it was good. Pity it might come back, made it.
Well,
Yeah, hopefully. And
the
then the
tree.
Christmas tree as well. Like, you know, Christmas tree fizzled out for a long time as well. Like, you know, but it come back into prominence again. I don't know when did that start. 21 was it? You know. But like Richard got a booklet off Milton McWilliams there a couple of years, about you know, Christmas tree committee and all, way back in the 60s, right, run right through to 74, 75, right from about 62 or 63, you know. So that's what started again now. We did play at quite a few Christmas tree lights. We played at Guildford, we played in Scarva, we played in, you know.
The band still has a busy programme at Christmas. When we do 10 or 12 engagements, we used to switch on Christmas lights, but we still would. We do.
You need to do more. You need to do more
George
Christmas
and
time
Dave
now,
and Armagh,
and you do during the summertime nearly, like, you know.
We used to play the High Street Band, put it down, switching on. Then we'd still do a raid. We'd do a Christmas service every Sunday from the end of November right through to Christmas. And some Sundays we'd do twice, and the Christmas tree here. And listen, we had the day of trainers, but the band would be busy at Christmas, like, and the ensembles as well, like just the full band, like, we'd try and do as much as we can in the community.
That nearly wraps it up. No, that's
There's
just
a few
photographs
more
there.
here, photographs just run
On
through.
parade, band on parade.
That's the
Really,
band.
like, you know.
That's us all there, different places, the 12th and the Scarva. Then that's the 1st of July, and that's Scarva again. These are all just different ones here. Sometimes they're in the paper. That's a couple of wee kids there. That was last year, the 1st of July. It was a really terrible night, like it bucketed out of the heavens here. I'm sure everybody, you know, we got the real. So that was, they have that's Rebecca's 2 wee kids. It was their first night out of the band. And they were all, that was before they went up the street. Everybody, the water was running out of us. But they never fizzed. On them. That was when there was Rory Best. Was
it 21?
Rory Best tribute day.
21, wasn't it?
21 was it? Sorry.
21,
That was
21.
at the club there. It was a good day too. The sun shone, like, it was really good day. That was the band playing in Armagh. Just but you get these wee things. The council sometimes would ask the band to, you know, they give the band's playing just like Scarva. They're playing Saturday afternoons or something for the shoppers. Well, that was me and a couple of them there one year in the newsletter of the contest in Ulster Hall. That was Melanie presentation. This was Cyril and me up at the church, the Remembrance Sunday. There was no parade that year. We just played. I played the last post in our valley in the church at the service. Let us see. These are more just running through more concerts. This is a couple of artists in the band always produce these posters for us. And that was just an old poster. I can't remember who. That be Nigel found that one for us. But these are just Anna Finch and different ones. All our wee concerts and different things that we're doing. Produce these posters, and they're really well done. That's
That's a coming on this Saturday morning, the third one
That's
there.
the one for Saturday
From
morning.
half 9 to half 12.
This one here was the old Conservative flute band. You know, dancing the Irish Legion. What was it? Admission 2 shillings. So there you go.
2 shillings, no, 2. One of 2 shillings was right, I remember. 2 shillings was.
Cheap date. I don't know, there's no date on it. It's just Monday the 4th of August, but
Mummy's birthday.
It was probably before the war, like way back. But still have it, like it's one for the record books.
Yeah.
Not sure of much else now. But I say, these are recent ones. This is the band of the contest last year in Armagh at the Marketplace Theatre. We just played and we came out and we just took that photograph on the steps. That was the contest band that day. That was everybody. So we were all reasonably happy with ourselves. We thought we played really well. We did play really well. And then this was the band. This is the last contest we did there, just down in 5 Mile Town. the Brass Band League they run an entertainments contest. The band has to play a 20-minute programme, just have to play a march, the figure soloist, and then a couple of concert pieces. So that was just after we played. We came out, and that was the steps. The Valley Hotel just got into the function room. So with 32 on stage that day, plus Stanley. So you reckon that's really the band that we have at the minute. There's maybe 2 or 3 missed even that day. But that's I think that's us up to date. It is.
Yeah, alright, folks, so it wasn't too bad. They were just kept you the hour there. Like, so.
Sir mentioned just there a wee bit.
Oh, sorry,
I want to just touch on
I
that.
think that's alright.
Thanks to Milton here. Milton produced this wee book for me. Whenever I took on the secretary's role, really, way back then, in the 70s, there wasn't really, there was never any minute books or anything. Nobody ever, I don't know how they had minute meetings, they never kept any minutes. But thanks to Milton for he had this. He came up to me a couple of photographs and this minute book. I thought, Frank, that's what I was always looking for. But this is actually isn't. This is a minute book for a committee that was formed way back in 1963. The Poyntzpass Silver and St Patrick's Accordion Bands Joint Committee. I'll just read this first minute just to hear. You'll recognise some, the older ones of us will just recognise some of the people. The first meeting of this committee was held in the office of the Poyntzpass Sail Yard on Monday the 11th of November 1963, and the following officers were appointed: Mr. P. McSherry, Chairman; Mr. W. Little, Secretary; Mr. Frank Waters, Frank will remember this, Treasurer, and the other members present were Messrs. G. Loughlin, Edmund Loughlin, David Kearns, A. Shanks, A. O'Hare, Phil Waters, J. Moorhead, P. Campbell, J. Daly, J. Fagan, and John Campbell, W. Corbett. The business was to arrange for a Christmas tree in Poyntzpass. This must have been the first year it was done. Mr. D. Kearns offered to consult Mr. Sam Wright, ADC, that must have been Armagh District Council, and ask him to get the council's permission. Also find out to what extent the council would be prepared to assist in the cost of lighting, etc. Mr. A. Shanks reported that Mr. George Bryson had promised to supply the tree free of charge. Messrs. A. Shanks, A. O'Hare, and J. Daly were appointed to select and cut the tree. There's a job for somebody, and deliver it to the site. So it's a great big one, maybe. The tree to be erected on the 18th of December, and the official switching on. What's that there say? On I don't know what that says. On Friday, the 20th of December, the arrangements for the programme by the bands was left in the hands of Mr. Phil Waters and Mr. George Loughlin. The chairman was appointed to arrange insurance coverage for the period from the 18th of December to the 6th of January. Mr. A. O'Hare offered to supply an electrician to wire the tree, etc. The following collectors were appointed for the different districts. Canal Bank, Newry Road, Tanioki, Mr. A. O'Hare, Mr. John Fagan; County Down, Mr. Joe Moorhead, Mr. Phil Waters; Market Hill, Ballyrea and Acton Village, Frank Waters and Albert Shanks; Poyntzpass Village, Mr. D. Kearns, Mr. P. Campbell. After a discussion, it was agreed that all the children should receive a small present and that someone would be engaged to act as Father Christmas. This this concluded the business, and the meeting, and the next meeting was arranged for Monday, the 18th of December, at 9 p.m. To advertise, it was proposed that this should get announced in the different churches. Signed, Patrick McSherry and W. Little. And they keep a minute right through until the whole thing was wound up. That first meeting was on the 11th of November 1963. The first person, I just had a wee quick look through it. Like, there's some interesting stuff out of it. The first person that switched on the Christmas lights that year was Mr. William Bicker. I don't know who William Bicker would be. William Bicker. And then they record him passing away later on. He was said that the record that he had been the first person to switch on the trees, Mr. William Bicker. In 1967, they had to cancel it because of the foot and mouth breakout. There was no Christmas tree that year, and it's all in the book here. Then the very last meeting was on the 24th of November 1975, and they held all their meetings in the Sail Yard office. Santa was David Kearns, and Mickey Waddle. He did chairman MC for the Christmas tree switch ons every year. So it's interesting. It is like it's local history. It really is, but there's some very well recorded too. Nice to have Thanks very much for passing it on. Billy was very tidy writer. And, you know, easy to read his recordings there. So thanks very much for that.